You know it's super fly when Day Bar is opened. Hip-hop review, news, plus breaking new artists, pop culture, current events with an urban view of it. This is all things hip-hop, delivered raw, unpolitically correct, a fan's perspective, putting all artists in check. Dope content, current hot by remarkable men. Our thoughts, clearly. Welcome to Audio Theory.
Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe as well as the like button. What's good? How you been, man? How's the year going for you?
Happy New Year, bro. We're back.
I know.
Literally, I think it's like a month since we last recorded an episode. So much has fucking happened. Yeah, dude, Happy New Year. How'd you bring in the year? Were you around the family? I know fucking California is on super lockdown still, but people are having their swinger parties, so we got to get into that later. But how was your New Year festivities?
It was dope. My family and I, including my girlfriend, went to Pacifica.
Okay.
And it's basically in NorCal, Bay Area, and we rented an Airbnb and just really kicked it and drank and played music the whole time. But the shitty thing about it was, so before we booked it, I noticed that they said they had outside surveillance, which was important because like we weren't sure how many people were actually gonna come. Like there's two like maybes, sure. And unfortunately these bastards charge like after a certain number of people charge per head.
Wow, they were looking at
Well, I mean, we figured that because they emphasize this shit over and over, like make sure you know your head count.
That's fair enough. If they did that,
like the rules,
yeah.
Will evict you and all kinds of extra unnecessary threats that they threw in there. So we like played it safe. We're like, one person's probably not going to make a big deal if they do show up for one night. But they have a noise detection system in the house. And we were like, all right, this shit's probably only going to go off if we're being super, super loud.
Yeah.
And like the first day we're there, so I bought my brother an ultrasound dog whistle because his dog, as well as the other dogs, when we go on these trips, they just constantly bark at each other.
Okay.
So I tested out the whistle, and fucking 2 minutes later, the Airbnb host messages me and it's like, the noise aware alert went off. Like, as a friendly reminder, tell you and your guests to keep the noise down. And like, we hadn't done shit at this point. It's like 6 o'clock at night. We're like making dinner, and I messaged him back, and I'm like, yo, I think it was the ultrasound whistle because you messaged me literally 2 minutes after I used it. He's like, okay, cool. So I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, it's probably not the music we had in the background or us just speaking loud. But then that night we start playing music. I verified that you can't hear any of it from outside.
Okay.
Even with the windows open, like you could vaguely hear it from across the street or near the door. And this fool messages me again with the same exact thing. And I'm like, all right, this shit's going to be annoying. So I'm like trying to blame it on the whistle again. Next day, they give me a call and they're like, hey, like, can you please keep it down? We don't want the cops to arrive. And like just being super extra, and you really can't hear shit outside. So I took a video, sent it to him. He's like, thank you so much. Same thing next day. So like, this is the story.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I was just pissed off, like New Year's Eve too, like at 9 o'clock. I'm like, who the fuck are you people? And
yeah, dude. And what did you expect to happen when someone rents your Airbnb like this weekend, you know?
I don't know if they had like a very bad experience in the past. Someone listed 4 people and they had like a 300-person party or some shit.
Well, I wonder if it has to do with just LA or California laws where like they don't want to be the house hosting a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
probably that too.
The cops show up. They're like, oh, yeah. Who owns this house? He's like, well, not me, dog. It wasn't. I don't live here. That means like it might be that.
Yeah. But I mean, I asked, I'm like, why don't you put this damn device outside? Like, why have it inside when, if your concern is neighbors, they try to blame it on the neighbors actually once. They're like, yeah, the neighbor filed a complaint. I'm like, well, is your neighbor fucking Peter Parker? Because you can't hear this shit outside. I verified all of this. I went outside 100 times to the point where my trip was like ruined because I'm like fucking trying to find the optimal loudness like anytime we're kicking it. And then to make matters worse, we leave and my brother just so happens to leave a bunch of his belongings in the closet. And then we find out their policy is they throw away belongings that you leave behind. And Airbnb apparently is not responsible for any left behind belongings, no matter how expensive. So my brother lost like $500-600 worth of attire.
Because that's fucked up. They're calling you every second about a noise, and they couldn't just hit you up and just say, "Hey, by the way, we have this. Like, come back."
No.
That's
the worst part is when I messaged him, he was like, "Let me check with the cleaners." Instead of saying like, "Hey, our policy is this. The belongings are probably gone," or whatever. Like, he made it seem like there was hope by saying, "Let me check with the cleaners," and then the next day it's like, "Oh, they threw them out. That's our policy."
Oh, bro. I would have destroyed my man on the review thing. Like, 1 star. Like, terrible.
The problem was I put my review in the next day, and my brother realized this after the fact. So my review still complains about the noise, and then they try to complain on my review saying Blair was good, but his guest was rude. So I hit up Airbnb, and they're like, that comment is irrelevant. So they removed it from my page, fortunately.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah, it was a shit show at the end.
And so this was in LA proper, or where was that the actual house?
Oh, it was in the Bay Area.
The Bay Area, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, that's tough, man. So my New Year's Eve was pretty dope. Party at my aunt's house, always at 575 in Jersey for that. We thought it'd be more people, so like a real fucking COVID spreader. So I was a little bit nervous about that. But it ended up only being like 25, 30 people. But it was never 25, 30 people at the same time. Like, kind of like gradually got busier. And then once New Year's hit, that was like peak in the same room, and then it died down. Dude, but we were going till like 6 a.m. Everyone dressed to impress. Loud, bro. Like, loud. So that was good, man. It worked out. We got catering. So yeah, dude, it was definitely a good time, a good way to bring in the year. But bro, so since we did our last episode, I was in New York for 2 weeks, bro. Yo, when I tell you how physically exhausted I was from January 1st till like the 8th, you would think I'm like 75 years old. But bro, like, I'm just like the family member / friend who like always wants to be the glue. So if I'm like, I'm in town, where you at? I'll come see you. Don't worry. I'll drive an hour to see you. Like, let's fucking make it happen. But dude, it ended up being like, I'd be drinking till like 6 a.m, wake up at 11:45, and then just go meet someone. And that happened like, I was only there for 13 days. That happened like on 5 different occasions. Like, no sleep, or I wake up at like a decent hour, and then I just drink. Like on Christmas Day, bro, I drank and got high from 12 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning. Like, it's just like the longest fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my boys were like roasting me, like, nah, bro, you're over 30. I'm like, bro, if I was 21, I could not do this, bro. Like, it's just, so yeah, dude, like the first few days of this year have been fucking rough, bro. Cause I was, dude, for lunch, I would just take a nap. I'm like, bro, I just need an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I just need more sleep.
That's exactly how I was. And I think it was because I was pulling the same thing. I was just staying up super late, just drinking at any time of day. It didn't matter if it was noon or like 7 o'clock at
you're on
night or
vacation,
midnight.
it's the holidays, you got your boys and families. It's like, yeah, whatever, let's keep drinking. Yeah. I was like, oh, when did I drink water? Have I drank water today? Like,
I straight up forgot to drink water for like 5 days straight. And then my body, the first week of January, was like, I'm going to get you back, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad. Like, I was like, all right, take the L. You're going to be with family and friends. It's fine. But, bro, I didn't think it'd be that bad, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, that first Monday or Tuesday of the year, bro, I was just, like, sitting down, like, contemplating my life. Like, fuck, bro. Like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah.
But it's been good, bro. I'm still so sober living all of January. The cleanse is still in full effect. And I was proud of myself, bro, because January 1st, I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday, and I didn't come back till Sunday. So I still like went partying Friday and Saturday in New York, and was like, nah, just water. I had like a virgin margarita. I was like, yeah, like I'm not doing it. And I went to a bar for the first time yesterday in Florida, and I was like, let me just get a Coke and a water, and we're good. So it's been good thus far.
Dope. It's so weird hearing you going out to bars and stuff. We can't do shit over here.
Yeah, dude, it's so open here, bro. Like, dude, I went out yesterday. I went to a Taco Tuesday spot around me, and like, Yeah, you have to wear a mask to like greet the hostess, but like after that, it's just like it's just a normal fucking Tuesday in fucking Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, dude, everything's wide open here. But speaking of that, though, I guess like I've never really understood a lot of people's frustration with like the lockdown in different cities, because obviously I'm here, bro. The way it is in New York is ridiculous, bro. So every restaurant is outdoor if they can make outdoor dining happen. That they're doing that. But there is no indoor dining. Like nowhere is there allowed in New York or New Jersey, bro. But all the malls and shopping areas are open, so you can go shop till you drop for 5, 6, 7 hours, but you can't go into fucking McDonald's get a burger for 5 minutes. Like that's wild to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like the logic is fucking terrible, and like how they don't see how they're fucking like crippling half your economy by doing that is just like there has to be some agenda behind it. Because I'm like, bro, like how can you let all these businesses run? Like, dude, literally every mall, every massive like open. Dude, I went to like a sightseeing place that was indoors, open, like a museum open, but I can't go to a fucking burger Shake Shack and have like a fucking shake and fries. Like, I'm like, dude, how does that make sense?
I think that's why people are so pissed off, is because it doesn't make sense. And I think I heard this from the Joe Rogan podcast, but this one dude, I forget what his role was, but he basically thinks it's the politicians just basically pulling this stuff out of their ass and trying to cover themselves by trying to do something, but not really.
The numbers?
Yeah, just to say like, okay, we shut down the restaurants, like we did all we could, and just leave it at that. Like they're not really thinking this through, essentially. And that's why there's all these holes in this approach.
Yeah, bro. And also, I don't think people are actually getting it at the restaurant. I feel like the restaurants are actually like, probably the safest place, because like everyone's masked up there as far as servers. They're putting those like plexiglass in between tables. Like, it's the parties that people throw, and you get fucking sick there, and then go and like spread it, bro. It's not these restaurants. Like I definitely feel bad, because it's like, dude, driving through New York City, like, yo, it's like so many like popular places just shut down, and it's like, damn, bro, that fucking sucks.
It's these swinger parties. That's where people are getting.
Dude, tell people about that. I need give people a heads up of what's happening in LA.
I mean, full disclosure, I did not attend, nor was I aware of this before I found it on Instagram. But shout out to plushlife.org. Apparently they threw a party in LA somewhere in some warehouse, and they got rowdy. There's a lot of skeeting going on, and probably a lot of coronavirus contracting going on as well.
100%.
And these people clearly don't care.
Don't care. They're probably, I mean, I feel like if you got invited to that party, you're probably pretty well off, right? They're like, yo, we'll take the fine. Like, it's fucking, we'll take the fine, and we'll see if we can just go through the whole time we're getting arrested. Like, I feel like that's probably like their end game.
I mean, it's either the elite, or just freaks, or maybe both. I don't know. But yeah, these people definitely did not care about the virus. And I wonder if it is these low-key house parties and stuff that's really driving it, and not your casual trip to Target or McDonald's or something.
I fully believe that, bro. Like, cause like, dude, like, there's no way for me. Like, that's why I was a little bit nervous. Like, my aunt's party, like, it's gonna be like 45 to 50 people. I'm like, bro, there's no way 50 people are gonna be here and no one has it. Like, there's like the math just doesn't add up. You know what I mean? So whereas like at a restaurant, bro, everyone's masked up. All right, people may have it, but that's the point of the mask. You know what I mean? Like, no one's masked up in my fucking aunt's house. Like, we're all just fucking hugging, drinking. Oh my God, I haven't seen you so long. Like all that shit. So that's where you fucking get COVID. So yeah, but it's wild, bro. Like, even like to shout out somebody else, I know the Flagrant 2 podcast, they're thinking about coming to Florida for 2 months just to film there, because they're like, bro, we can't live our lives here anymore. So speaking of New York again, so yeah, it's wild, man. But yeah, it was, I think I needed to be in New York to see the absolute like contradiction of things they're doing, because I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like, so I can go into Bloomingdale's for 4 hours and buy whatever the fuck I want, but I can't go to a restaurant? Like, why? Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
the math doesn't check out, and it's so annoying. I'm like, I would be down for a full straight up lockdown. You can't do shit except anything except be in your house for 14 days, rather than this like half-assed indefinite forever type thing.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. But you brought up, I know you heard the about the swinger thing on Instagram, right? So I got a fucking complaint about Instagram, bro. So I think I told you about this offline already, but as part of my cleanse, like I gave up alcohol and drugs and other things. But I also wanted to cleanse my fucking Instagram feed because, bro, I had just too much shit, bro. Like I'm following like a random like juice cart in Miami Beach. I'm like, bro, I don't need to see this shit. You know, like I don't care about your specials, bro. Like, why am I following this? So, dude, I went from like 2,000 followers down to 1,300. But I think every time I remove more than like 200 pages, I get fucking flagged and they fucking block me for 10 days. So I've been dealing with that shit since like December 25th, nonstop. Like I go in, boop, and I'm like, bro, like let me just remove this shit. Like why do you?
Yeah.
Again, they think it's a bot. Like they want to make sure that all the advertising is going. But I'm like, bro, can I just like please just be rid of this shit? But it is what it is. So yeah, I'm currently on my my third block of the second block of the new year.
Shit. I mean, what if you were in charge of the Instagram product? What would be your recommendation for how to fix that issue for people who aren't bots, who are just randomly following 1,000 people and then unfollowing the 500 who don't follow them back and shit like that?
But I don't see what's wrong with that though. Like the unfollowing part is like, who cares? Like, I mean, I feel like how do you know I'm not gonna go follow more people? I'm just unfollowing the ones I don't want to follow. You know what I mean? Like, like who gives a fuck, bro? As long as I'm not like posting some wild shit. And dude, we know for the podcast, anytime we do any hashtags that has anything remotely to do with fucking politics, our shit gets flagged and like doesn't get promoted. So like, bro, like it's just me like wanting to unfollow one of the 3,500 fucking thoughts that I was following at the time. Like, I don't need to know every single Instagram model in Miami. Like, I don't need to have that shit on my feed. I was like, please, like, let me. But I just want to get to like, I think I have like 800 and something followers. I wanted to get that number even, and then I'm good. So that's probably going to be like, I can probably do that at this rate by like April, because like, they're going to stop me the next like 200 I do. But yeah, that was that's my beef with Instagram, because I'm like, bro, like, fuck you. But it is what it is.
No, I agree with that. That's it's annoying. It kind of ties into the whole, they want you to be addicted and stay on the platform and look at these 35 thoughts 100%. That to the same doctor and look exactly the same.
Look exactly the same, bro. And then, dude, it's obviously, we already know what's happening. Obviously, you know more because you're in that field. But like, as I'm buying stuff for the house, like, you know, new appliances, vanity, bathroom, whatever, bro, the moment I go like to some like bedroom and mattress place, my entire sponsored feed is beds. I'm like, bro, like, be a little subtle about this, bro. Like, it's just fucking, you're making it too fucking obvious.
Right. At least wait a week or something.
Yeah. Like, 10
minutes after.
I forgot about that. I'm like, bro, I know what I'm looking for. Like, I'm aware of this.
Yeah. That's happened a couple times. I think to my girlfriend these past couple weeks, because we're talking about all the shit we have to move. Mm-hmm. And anytime we mention one of those things, it just so happens like, hey, need a mover? Hey, do you want a new mattress? Hey, do you want a new desk? I'm like, is this bitch listening to me?
Like, how do you know?
About to throw Siri away.
Yeah, I'm actually getting Alexa for the house. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. Yeah, so the house coming along. That's also a 2021 thing that's going very, very well. I was telling you offline a second ago. The most expensive investment of my life. I feel like my contract is asking me for money every week, but you know, it's a blessing to have you're set up the way you want it. Bro, the closet is gonna be like, that's gonna be the first thing I ever send you is gonna be my before and after the closet, bro. Because now that I don't have to share that shit with anyone else, bro, it is just shoes, like just shoes everywhere. Like, that's gonna be like probably like my proudest thing in the house right now.
How many pairs do you have on estimate?
Bro, I gotta say at least, like, no exaggeration, at least 50, 55.
Damn, I knew you were gonna say 50 for some reason.
Yeah, at least 50.
No, we're talking like all styles, like dress shoes, basketball.
Yeah,
running,
I mean the majority are sneakers, like you know, the majority are Nikes and Jordans. But yeah, I got like, you know, Tim's, dress shoes, running shoes. But yeah, the majority are sneakers. But again, I would even, like, recently I've stopped buying shit because like I don't have room for them, bro. Like, I got fucking in my pantry, I'm putting sneakers into like just fucking months. So like I needed a fucking closet. So the moment like I realized this house can be only mine, I'm like, yeah, I need to just do this shit exactly the way I want to. And the cool thing about the house, like you're putting money in it, but you know when you sell it, like that's gonna come right back to you. So it's all good, man. But yeah, the funniest part was I have the best contract. Shout out to my boy Sam for hooking it up. So he's been doing everything. Like, hey, give me the money, I'll go do it. But one day I had to go and pay for something. He's like, all right, here's the measurements, go buy the wood. I was like, no problem, bro. This is my shit. I'm gonna own this. Let me go do it.
Yeah.
Bro, I went to Floor and Decor, which is like a local, like, they do like good flooring and shit like that. And I was like, yo, so I need 250 square feet of this and a box of that. And he's like, all right, here, go to the front and take care of it. I'm like, perfect. Fam, I go up there and the thing is like $2,500. And I'm just like, could you recheck exactly what I fucking
Make sure you didn't type it in like 5 different times.
I was like, so I know I only need 250 square foot. Like, are you sure that's what it is? I was like, oh, okay. And I was just like, I've never felt like more disappointed. Like, damn, like, what did I think the price is gonna be? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. But it's all good, bro. It's a dope experience, and up until now, it's been a very easy one. So thankfully.
Nice. Well, congrats again. I'm sure it's gonna look dope once you get it all finalized. Do you have like a deadline for when you want it 100% furnished?
No. So my goal is June, like fully fucking like properly how I want it. My mom always told me though, don't go broke like this, furnishing a house, especially if it's gonna be my house forever. Like it takes time. But June, so that's like 6 months of doing it. But February 20th is I'm gonna have my housewarming for the McGregor and Paul fight. So I want at least the projector TV area to be done. So
nice.
So February 20th is my deadline to get that done, which again, we still have a month, so that's gonna be fine. But yeah, man, I'm excited.
McGregor or Mayweather?
Mayweather, my bad.
I was about to say, damn, he did another deal?
No. McGregor has a fight this weekend, actually, or next weekend. Yeah, Mayweather and Paul is going to be the housewarming event. I wanted to do the Super Bowl, which was like February 7th, but there's no way. That's like that would have been like stressed out. I'd probably buy the wrong couch just to fucking buy it. Like, nah.
Yeah, no, that's a good call.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. Let's get into the episode. There's a ton of shit to get into. We're going to call this one a whole lot of trash, and that will make sense shortly. But I think the biggest trash of this new year, besides us being old and exhausted, has to be the shit that went down on Capitol Hill last week. Like, I think a week ago today. So dude, your thoughts when you saw all that shit just go down? Like, what were your, like, because I was working and I put the TV on, like, just to fucking put it on. And I'm like, what? So, like, what were your impressions, like, just seeing that shit?
Yeah. I mean, I think I found out about it from people like you and a couple other friends on Instagram. I will say I'm not surprised. And the other emotions I felt were, I mean, I was so exhausted by 2020, I think, that I was just like, fuck, they could have hand carried Trump out of the fucking White House and I would be like, yeah, I expected it, whatever. So for me, it was just like, man, like, what is this country coming to? And then, of course, the conspiracy theories come out. People were saying, and there's actors, Antifa, inside job, all this extra shit. And I think I've gotten to a point where I'm just pretty much apathetic to it. I'm like, I mean, Trump is out in what, like a week or something?
Yeah, I think his last day is the 20th. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what is going to happen, but if they try to do something like this again, like, I'm sure the authorities will handle it. So I'm just kind of like, all right, this was somewhat expected. Maybe not to that level, but I'm just like, whatever. I know a lot of celebrities spoke out basically saying, like, I think the theme, particularly within the hip hop community, was like, oh, if dark skinned people had done this, the reaction would have been a lot different, which I agree in terms of like how aggressive the people handle it. But then again, people were saying it's an inside job, so I think that may answer some of why people weren't just straight up shot down and shit like that. There's people, I think there's footage of someone opening doors and stuff, so I'm kind of just like waiting, I guess, for more details to come out. But
Which I don't think we're gonna get, bro. It's kind of wild how quickly the world just moved on from that shit. You know what I mean? Like, especially like American media, like obviously like all media is corrupt for a certain extent, but like it was like it happened Wednesday or Thursday, and then they confirmed the president-elect, and then we just moved the fuck on. And it's like, no, dude, let's figure out what the fuck happened. At least that's how it feels, at least. But yeah, dude, I was shook, bro. I was just more so like, one, I think everyone who did it was an idiot. I thoroughly believe that, bro. Because like, I just don't think they had a plan. Like, it was just, let's go inside and say we went inside and then delay this. But like, then like you're just in Pelosi's room taking pictures and going through her mail.
And just like throwing shit around and breaking windows.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, like cool. But I just think like it's a bad look. I know because of coronavirus, like hopefully nothing ever happens to America, like from a war point of view. But I just think our enemies, because obviously every country has enemies, it had to look at that like, yo, y'all are pussy. You know what I mean? Like, that was way too fucking easy of a process. Like a bunch of fucking hippies just stormed the Capitol building and just almost completely shut down your entire democratic process. Like, that's a bad fucking look. So imagine if fucking terrorists with real fucking weapons try to do the same thing. Like, that's what got me. Like, that was probably the thing on my mind the most. And obviously the second part was like, are we a fucking third world country? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, because that should actually happen when I was in school in India. But like a militia tried to like storm the Parliament building when I was like in fucking, I think like 11th grade. But that was like, there was a plan. Like, yo, we have guns, we're coming inside, and we're fucking gonna blast, whoever we see. This is just like, yeah, let's go inside. Let's just fucking go inside. I'm like, whatever. But it just felt like some third world country shit. Not a country that is meant to be what we're meant to be. But again, maybe they say, a lot of people, like, the favorite phrase right now is like, well, this isn't really America. I mean, it may be America, bro. Like, this really may just be America. And we've been feeding ourselves a facade of what we aspire to be. But I always say, like, when your back's against the wall, I feel like your true colors come out. And like, these people, again, I don't know if I know I said they're idiots, but I mean, dude, they could probably rationalize why they did this in the first place, and it may make sense. But damn, bro, it just looked bad, bro. Like, it just looked like it was a bad look for everyone involved, like Dems, Republicans. But I think America took a massive L with just the way we look to the rest of the world, bro. Like, and dude, it's really been fucking. It's gonna be almost 10 full months of us just looking so idiotic on so many things, bro. The handling of Corona, Black Lives Matter, now this, like, damn, bro. It's just, we look bad, bro.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. How do you feel about Trump getting banned and like objectively to this particular situation, because they said he incited violence? I personally haven't really followed this story that much, so I don't know like what tweet or speech may have led to this situation, but I know some people who have basically said they don't like Trump, but this is kind of the beginning of censorship and things like that. Yeah,
so I do believe he incited it some way, because dude, they had a fucking rally the same day they were doing this, and like I think Giuliani told the people like they're gonna either understand by combat or something else, like legit telling these people to go to Capitol Hill and start shit, bro. Like, so I think Trump's very good with his words, so he'll never get like, I think he did get impeached today, from what I'm hearing, but
yeah, that's what
I think he was very good with his words. But dude, presidents didn't have Twitter 30 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Twitter's not a fucking human right. It's a fucking private company that has community guidelines. So because he's fucking president, he's not above those fucking guidelines. Like, if I went on that shit right now and was like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you, like, I will get banned. You know what I mean? So I have no issue with any of these private companies banning him from rants, bro. Like, if he wants to hold a press conference, hold a fucking press conference, bro. You own that right. That's your freedom of speech. But like, the same way if you went to a restaurant and didn't follow their fucking rules, they have every right to say, Blair, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? So yeah. I have no issue with Twitter. and TikTok and Facebook, like, yo, if he's acting a fucking fool, I think it says a good president, a president's that no one's above this shit. Like, bro, like, we have fucking community guidelines. Like, follow them, or we're gonna fucking ban you like anyone else.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that. And also, there's a lot of people who are like pissed at Twitter, but then still use it, or like they claim they hate Google, but they'll still search on that instead of Bing or whatever the case is. So I feel like a lot of people complain and don't really act on it. You know, they say they hate these companies, but they use it because they at least think it's a necessity. Like, I have to be on Instagram because everyone else is, or I have to use Facebook because that's the only way I can talk to my friends. But it's really more of like, they don't want to be inconvenienced and like,
they don't want to be inconvenienced.
Text somebody instead or some shit.
Yeah, which is what I think Trump was like. He didn't want to be inconvenienced to like hold a fucking proper press conference and either, condemn this shit, which he didn't do, man. That shit, dude. When his first video of like, we love you, I love you, go home, don't worry. Like, I was like, bro, you are wilding right now. Like, you are wild for that shit. So dude, presidents do fucking press conferences. Like, that's what they fucking do. Like, there's a fucking press room for a reason. Like, there's press on deck at the White House ready to go whenever you fucking say, I'm giving a speech. So because you can't go on Twitter in 140 characters, lose your fucking mind. Like, nah, bro. Like, I have no issue with him being banned from those platforms for that reason. Like, yo, he is very, he's there to divide and said some wild shit that did lead to, like, again, everyone's responsible for their own fucking choices. But bro, like, that group of people they thought they were being led to go do that. And by the fucking acting president of your country, that's a wild fucking thing to even try to comprehend.
Yeah. And I heard that, this same group or whatever was potentially planning another sort of attack. I don't know if on the same building, but
I heard it was like every state capital.
Yeah,
they were planning an attack
like
over the course of the next 10 days before the inauguration of Biden.
Yeah,
which he announced he's not going to, like a bitch. Like, bro, I really think like he's looked very bad these last month and a half. Like, it just looks like America looks pussy. I think he looks pussy, bro. Like, he looks like, bitch moves, like complaining. I ain't going to the inauguration. It's like, bro, like you're already gonna go down as the worst president, bro. Like, the worst. And like, dude, just go out with like a grace, bro. Like, just there's no issue. Like, you lost. Take the L and just say, man, good luck to you, and I'm gonna keep it moving. But the way
I think he probably, because my brother mentioned the same thing to me. He was like, Trump might look good if he cooperates with Biden and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, the people that hate him have already decided they hate him, and the people that love him have already decided they love him. So I feel like in his mind, he's probably saying, I'm never gonna win the hearts of the people that hate me. So let me just
stick with my side.
Let me just be like the martyr and say, fuck everyone else. Like, this was all rigged, and I'm gonna fight till the last second until I'm out and all this stuff. But I don't know if it's really gonna work. Some people are convinced he's like the only president ever that like fought the system and the establishment and stuff.
Yeah, dude, but that's not. I mean, good for you, bro. Like, you'll have that on your resume, but you like, he's trash, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just, again, I don't know if it's because I'm just like, I have like a more universal approach to get, like, obviously I'm American, but I lived abroad for 1/3 of my life, and traveling abroad, like, bro, like, it's like I don't have that sense of pride of being American anymore. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, land of the free, like, life here is much better than anywhere else in the world. I wholeheartedly believe that. But there's still like not that much pride in like saying I'm legit like trying to figure ways how to get my Dominican passport. So when I travel, I'll just show that one instead. Like, that's like, and I'm not even exaggerating, bro. Like, those are actual things I'm putting into motion right now because like I just don't have pride in pulling out my American passport. Like, I just don't. So yeah.
That's a good point. Speaking of that, this past weekend I did like part 1 of my dad's interview.
Oh, nice. How'd it go? So like, tell people what you're doing so they have an idea of what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so basically, for the longest time now, I think a few years, I just realized like I didn't know as much as I felt like I should have about my parents' upbringing and things like that I would hear stories here and there, but I wouldn't really, like, people would be like, oh, where was your mom born? And I would like know the city, but knew nothing like after that. I'm like, oh, she was born here, they met here, and then like that's how I was born, and that was pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get it on the record, so I decided to interview my parents, my dad being the first test subject. So we did it this weekend, probably recorded about an hour or two.
That's
worth
amazing.
of stuff. So he started from the beginning, and as he was talking about Jamaica, I mean, Jamaica's a third world country, but he did mention like there's this kind of undeniable sense of pride where like everyone just like loves their country to death.
Yeah.
And if you're like Chinese and you migrated there, Indian and migrated there, like you become a Jamaican first, essentially. You're not like, oh, I'm Chinese Jamaican. You're like, I'm just Jamaican and happen to have Chinese heritage or whatever. Whereas, and then the problem with America, even though it is like the land of the free and opportunity and everything, like people come here and then they form their own little bubbles. So like, you know, when there's little Ethiopia and, you know, little
Italy,
you know,
Chinatown, all that shit,
stuff like that. It's like, it's dope that you get all these different cultures, but people don't really want to like assimilate that much. So it's still pretty divided. And I think that's why people are never like, yeah, like America, except for the people that have like no other culture.
Yeah, all they know is like, yeah.
So like you're obviously have Dominican heritage. I have Jamaican, and like at the end of the day, we can vibe with that with our families and stuff. But then the people that don't have that, like, don't really have much to cling on to. They might have Swedish heritage, but like
but they don't
their
have that shit like that.
great granddad spoke
they're not hopping on a plane and going home, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So what were some of the other dope things you found out from your dad in that experience?
I guess I didn't realize how like academically inclined the island was. So he said when he was like 11, they would all compete for like these scholarships to go to I think they called it college, but it was like high school boarding school.
Okay.
He claims he won like the top award like on the whole island, and a lot of his peers like were competing for the same thing, and like his class went on to be like engineers and form like this really popular band called Third World and do all sorts of stuff. But like on the outside looking in, a lot of people would look at a country like Jamaica and think it's like, you know, Africa or something, like kids with flies on their bellies, overgrown bellies, and like nothing really going on except people smoking weed at the beach and shit. But like their educational system almost sounded better than like what we have in the US, which is
because it's a British system, that's why.
It's a British system. And he always like talks about the British and how, I guess, amazing they made things over there. But you would think about here, like half the people don't know geography, like in the US, within their own country, not even like outside of the US. So that was a pretty big takeaway. And other than that, it just seemed like a really dope way to grow up, because I mean his parents didn't have much, so he didn't have much, but like it seemed like that didn't really affect him in any way. Whereas out here, like I don't know if it's necessarily the same story. I think we're generally way more materialistic and superficial out in the US.
And where whatever your zip code is kind of sets you up for life in a good or positive way when you're born. Sure. which is fucking wild. When you were born, how old were your parents?
When I was born, my parents were, I think, late 30s.
So that's why I think it's even better for you to do this now, bro, because like it's like when you were born, your parents were like, I mean, let me say had shit together, but like were very much like settled adults. You know what I mean? It's like they were like, oh, when you were born, I'm assuming, tell me I'm wrong, you just saw them as adults, they have their shit, blah blah, but obviously they were also 21. They were also, you know, like in their early, like, you know, that's like shit that we'll never know if we don't ask. That's why I think it's like great that you're doing it, bro, because like, especially like right now you're 30, like you're you just turned 30, right? 31. 31, right. So 31, you know, this like weird time in life, like there has to be, obviously maybe not a pandemic, but there has to be a point in your dad's young 30s that he felt very similar to you, and like that's good shit that you want to know because you'll feel like, oh, I'm not alone. And then, all right, how did my idol, go through this as well? So that's cool, man.
For sure. No, that's dope. I'll definitely have to bring that up in part 2.
Yeah. That's so what's your goal with that? Like, how many takes you trying to do with each of them?
I mean, we were really trying to do it in one take, but like so I had a list of questions, but like he kind of improvised, and then it was just taking too long, and we didn't want to rush it. So
sure, yeah, 100%.
The next round or whatever is going to be the more like reflective stuff, like how was it when we were born, like how was it being a parent, and what are lessons you learned and stuff like that. Whereas part 1 was more so like your childhood and college dates and stuff like that.
Did he come to the States for college, or did he stay in Jamaica?
He was actually his family migrated to Canada.
Okay.
For college, well, around the time he was going to college, and he stayed there basically up until he finished up with like medical school and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, definitely want to. That'll be great, bro. Obviously, we'll figure out what you're gonna do with that as far as like the final product. But that's definitely kudos to you, bro. So yeah, what do you want to jump into for a whole lot of trash? That's probably the brightest spot in this whole conversation is that conversation with your dad. So definitely falls in a different category. Bro, you got to tell me about the Azealia Banks thing that you sent me last night, because I had no idea. And then when I read that on the rundown, I'm like, what the fuck? So
yeah. So Azealia Banks, for those who don't know, I mean, if you're into hip hop, you probably heard of her, but she's this artist who doesn't really make music anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, not at all.
I think she had like one hit, and then
what was the hit though? What was the hit? Because I don't know it.
I don't know it. Okay, it was this one song that
some people
gained some traction.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck happened, but along the way, she like, I don't know if she felt slighted by somebody or what, but she seems to always just pop out of the blue and like say some wild shit about a popular artist.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. Like super wild shit.
Lyrics about her like a metaphor or like a double entendre, like they'll bring up her name, but it's always like around like some crazy shit. I'm just like, like what is this bitch like about? And like, well, what you sent me makes sense though.
Yeah. So she's been doing this for a while. She's gone at everyone from like Nicki Minaj to like I think even Beyonce. So she's like the industry like black sheep and kind of blackballed, except for the psychopath like witchcraft types out there, which leads into this. And apparently she dug up her deceased cat named Lucifer and fucking cooked this motherfucker in a pot like it was some ramen, and was like just casually doing this shit too. It wasn't like she had like demonic music in the background. She was like listening to reggae, fucking making fun and just twirling his bones and shit around. And I have no idea why, if she ate the shit or if it was all a joke. And regardless, it's like
that's a sick fucking joke.
Yeah. How much attention do you want? And if it's real, that's just as disturbing. So I don't know what to make of it other than she needs help.
Damn. That's wild, bro. That's trash. That's a 2021 trash right there. Oh my God, that's disgusting, bro. Yeah, because I watched it last night like at 3 a.m. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, bro. That is.
Oh, shout out to my friend Miguel for bringing that up, because he sent it to me and I was just about to go to bed, but when he told me what the story was, I was like, I need to find this.
Oh my God. Yes, that's trash. We'll leave that one there. Let's leave that one in 2021. Hopefully it doesn't keep going into next year. I think another thing that's pretty crazy, and obviously it may sound like keeping the theme of trash, result moving forward. Maryland passed the law to use hip hop lyrics in any potential crime cases that a rapper is involved. So that's wild on a whole bunch of fucking different bases, because like, people fucking lie on music because it's fucking art form, right? Like the fuck. So what are your thoughts on that law being passed?
I don't think it's fair. I mean, suppose I make a song where I'm speaking from like the perspective of a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not going to, in the intro of the song, be like, by the way, disclaimer, this is just all an art form or some shit. I'm just going to dive into the track and
in that voice and then change your voice.
Yeah. So I think that's unfair. I mean, the only positive I see from it is like it'll stop or like lessen violent, stupid lyrics that don't need to be out there. But on the flip side, I don't think it's fair because it is an art form and you can express yourself. You can make believe and just say whatever, and that it is what it is. Like, I just don't see how that can how it matters. Like, I mean, isn't this usually like a complimentary evidence anyways? Like, A-Bar, I found your fingerprints on this dead chick, and in your smash hit song, you know, Kill a Bitch, you mentioned killing this same chick. Like, I don't know if that really matters at that point, right?
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah, I don't get. I think it's setting a really bad fucking baseline on how to judge rappers in the future, because if that goes fucking like not viral, but passes from state to state, bro, there's gonna be some fucking problems for these rappers, bro, because they're name dropping and saying a lot of shit. So I really hope that does not go like wide scale country all over the country, because man, I think the art will suffer because artists may be afraid to say certain things that may sound clever and good on a track, but damn, bro, I hope it is. That's wild to me. That's trash. That's a trash ruling. Like, again, it's already complicated. Like, you can use that as some kind of evidence, but to actually use that as like a fucking like a base of like a fucking entire case, that seems scary to me. Like, that seems scary to me.
For sure. Yeah, this is a tricky one, but I mean,
yeah, like how far back can you go and like the fuck, bro? Like,
yeah, that too.
Like,
yeah,
just
like,
start fucking accusing every rapper, like just never get arrested in fucking Maryland, bro, because they'll fucking go back to your '96 mixtape or some shit. Like,
yeah, it seems a little extra. Like, I don't know if I see a lot of questionable things coming from it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's, I don't know, like what was there a specific rapper that got in trouble for it? Like that they came out though, or was it like a rule that got passed?
I'm sure there was a rapper who got in trouble for it, because I feel like that's already happened. Didn't that happen to Bobby Shmurda? I mean, he's not from Maryland, but like, I'm pretty sure some of his lyrics may have been used for it. But it also is like kind of dumb when I hear like when he says whoever caught a body a week ago and stuff. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's just making a hard lyric, but
that lyric is hard though, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that lyric is
hard. But if it's true, it's also retarded. So
yeah. Well, dude, even Jay-Z has a line in a famous song where "I'll never catch a body again. My man will shoot you," and he points at Beanie Siegel, who had a current murder conviction at the time of the fucking song, bro. Like, yo, just like no fucks for giving the fucking 90s, bro. That was amazing. I was like,
yeah. Well, maybe at that time, like, there were no known cases of. Yeah,
there's no social media for it to go viral and shit. But I don't know, man, because that's like, but then like again, that's like what's fucked up about hip hop, where they don't treat it as an art sometimes. Like I feel like the people outside the culture, or even in the culture, but like look at it as like hip hop is real life. Like everything you hear actually happened or will happen or happened before. Whereas like if a new fucking DiCaprio movie comes out, like you don't think he actually is like an illegal fucking Wall Street guy, do you? Like it's an art, like a different kind of art, bro. So like that's where I hate that the bad rap, no pun intended, that hip hop gets when it comes to shit like this, because it's like, bro, it's art. Like everything fucking Drake or Jay-Z says is not maybe their story. It could be the person next to him story, and he wanted to like shed light on it. Like I remember like multiple interviews that Tupac did it. He's like, bro, I haven't sold drugs ever in my life, but my friends do, so I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? In a cool, fucking, creative kind of way. So, that's the fucked up part.
Yeah, I think it's going down a dangerous road with that if they don't figure out how to make it less vague.
Yeah, I agree. But something cool that did happen to me over the break that I need to talk about, because I was the first one, even though I have Apple Music. I'm the first one to shit on Apple Music every day. Like, this shit sucks. There's no fucking algorithm. They don't send me new music. The interface is fucking trash. Bro, shout out to Apple Music for fucking figuring shit out. Maybe they're the one person who listened to our episode last week and like really understand like why we were hating. Because, bro, they updated multiple things. So when you go to someone's album now, the top part of your phone is like super interactive. So like the Drake thing on like demos tape is like moving back and forth as if he was in the street. And like if you go like the little Uzi Vert's like original album, the little cartoon figure he has, like like moves, and like that thing on his head like actually goes up. Like it's very interactive. So that's
nice.
That's like the animation is dope. And then they updated their fucking radio stations that it sends you way better fucking suggestions, bro. Like I discovered like 10 different songs. I'm like, bro, where has this been? So shout out to Apple. I may not cancel my subscription this year because I was sold.
Dope. No, that's a great feeling. I'm still trying to do that with Spotify. I get a little frustrated if like I do one of those radio station things and after like 4 songs I don't hear anything I like. I'm like, fuck, well I'm just gonna be here all day then. But there was one time I was on the road and I let it play and it just seemed like 12 songs in a row. I was like,
bangers.
Add to the list. And
bangers.
It's a weird feeling that you don't get often, but when it happens you just feel really good.
Dude, that song that I sent you, that weekend song with Ty Dolla $ign, I was like, bro, play this shit back, bro. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, that song is dope.
I was like, listen, look at Apple coming through this year for me. Yeah. I think Spotify, bro, this Apple shit really is. I had like a whole half an hour conversation about like, it's fucking horrible, bro. I gave them already 5 years of fucking data. They don't send me the right songs. Like, what the fuck? So like, yeah, like, especially for us, like on the podcast, like doing Heat of the Week, bro, it's really us like putting in work to find shit that no one's heard yet. So help me out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like send me some shit that you know I would like. So that's my biggest beef.
Exactly.
All right, bro. That's any other stories you want to touch upon before we get into Heat of the Week?
Yeah, just real quickly.
Let's do it.
It's this rapper Pop Hunna. I actually hadn't heard of him until this story came out, but he has now been blackballed as like a snitch because I guess at 14 years old they found paperwork of him being a witness, cooperating as a witness to a murder that he wasn't part of. But he, I guess, witnessed it. Maybe a friend or something happened to be part of it. But he basically cooperated and I think helped them catch the guy and put him behind bars. And after this was found out...
When he was 14 years old?
14. And several rappers... Yeah. But several rappers have come out and said, including Trippie Redd, saying like, you know, this is a no-go. When I was 12 years old, I never folded and never snitched. So... he has no excuse, and you know that's not a child. Like you can't be, you know, out in these streets now and all this other stuff. But I don't know. It's just interesting to hear these rappers argue back and forth about this topic, especially considering. So Meek Mill, who's been very vocal about like no snitching, I just checked, follows this guy on Instagram still.
Okay.
And this guy's from Philly.
Okay.
I don't know how old he is now. I think he's early 20s. But
so this is a while ago. Okay, I thought he was still I thought he was like 16 now or something.
No. He's maybe 19 to 22 tops. And Meek Mill, I noticed, still follows him. And not that Instagram is like the end all be all, but I'm like,
but these dudes be quick to unfollow you to like prove a point. Like, yo, I don't fuck with him, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So if that is the case and he made an exception, then I think it doesn't sit well with me 100%, 10% now, because I'm like, now it's really a popularity contest. It's picking and choosing. So Tekashi is an easy target, obviously.
Right.
No one really likes him, but it's like when it happens to be someone that, you know, is maybe a dope, honorable person, like outside of this rap shit, then you kind of make an exception, like, oh, he's actually a cool dude, and this and that. And then you have rappers out here saying, no, you shouldn't tell under any circumstances, even if you weren't involved. And I don't know, it just seems like really childish to hear that back and forth banter about shit.
They should listen to fucking 21 Savage, Snitches and Rats, and they'll fucking understand completely why that's perfectly allowed.
Right.
I mean, when he was 14, though, bro, like that's not a snitch. That's a snitch, not a rat. Like, I feel like, bro, you're a child. Like, You're probably terrified. These cops probably put you like under pressure. Like,
Yeah.
your whole family's going to jail. We fucking don't get the answers. I'm like, bro, you can't hold a child fucking responsible.
But someone did bring up a pretty interesting scenario that I thought was good. And I'd love to see some rappers answer this, at least the ones that claim to be gangsters. But it was, if you caught somebody, you know, dumping a bunch of kilos of coke and illegal guns into your home, and you knew who did it, and the cops basically were like, yo, we just found out that you have all this shit inside your home. You're facing 30 years in prison unless you like identify the person who's responsible. Would you tell?
Snitch.
And snitch. And by this definition of telling, obviously it would be snitching. And I'm really interested to see if like one of these street rappers would just take the time, or if they would point them out and be like, yeah, it was David over here who did that shit, and he should be getting this time instead.
Shit. I know what I would do, bro. I'd be like, that one, he lives over there, and he lives like, yo, I'll take it over there right now. Yo, fuck that, bro. I'm fucking telling for sure. I'd be surprised, bro. Like, I don't know, man. There's so many different there's levels to this, and so many, like, like one rapper who you think would be leaning one way really isn't. It's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, I hope, like, in this year, like, that snitching shit is like put to rest. It's like, bro, you guys are millionaires. Like, bro, you really gonna not snitch because you want to be down? Like, you're gonna go do 20 years in fucking prison because you just don't want to like, come on, bro. Like, fuck that, bro. Like, snitch. Like, it's fine, bro. Just, I fully support it, bro. Like, just snitch, man. Like, especially again, if you're not a gang member, bro. Like, if that's not who you are, like, you're just a fucking rapper. And like now you're a businessman, and like you're an entrepreneur of your own fucking business, which is you, bro. Snitch the fuck away. Like, if it's gonna be you unable to provide for your family, or you go to jail for 30 years but the hood loves you, keep that love, bro. Like, I'll fucking take my money and just stay at my house. Like, I'm good, bro.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, fuck that, bro. Fuck that. All right, bro. Anything else you want to touch upon before we get to Heat of the Week?
No. Let's dive right in.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna go first. I don't want you to steal my fucking thunder, right? So this is the first Heat of the Week of 2021. I'm only doing one song. It's an up and coming artist called Blair Anthony. All right.
Let's get it.
It's fire. Highs and lows. So Blair Anthony, aka Superfly, aka Blair, right here, our fucking co-host, dropped a song. Was it at the end of last year or beginning of this year?
Technically I uploaded it on my birthday, but I officially dropped it earlier this year on the 7th of January, I want to say.
Perfect. So highs and lows, fire production. His voice sounds a little bit different. The auto-tune is phenomenal. Great work with that shit. It may be hard to perform it because it sounds a little different.
I'm gonna need Travis Scott's team to hit
we're
me
gonna
up.
have to DM Travis Scott. Yo, I need that mic. Whatever mic you got for him, we need that. But dude, great job, great rollout. The artwork on Apple Music is fire. It's already on the Apple Music playlist as well, so definitely peep that. Highs and lows. But what was dope, I didn't. Did you upload all your other songs, or they already were there? Because like when
They
I
were
go to
already there.
Oh, that's
like
dope.
promote them. I mean, I released them literally 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I didn't really promote them. I just focused on the highs and lows and assumed people would see the other two.
Okay, dope. Yeah, but also, dude, awesome song. I love that a lot of people were posting and sharing it on Instagram as well. So, yeah, man. So keep listening to that song, and obviously, I know the plan is going to put out more and more stuff throughout the year. So amazing job, though, man. Really, really proud of you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate the love. I didn't make it my Heat of the Week just because I didn't want to bombard people with the obvious. I mean, I wrote the song, so it's always going to be heat for me. But in terms of that song, I think so. Right now I'm still like trying to promote it and do things with it just to see what kind of reception it might get, and just feedback and stuff. But to your point, I'm trying to release more music, obviously, and not be like a one-hit wonder of sorts. Might remix it actually. So I found a few dope people who do like EDM remixes of songs.
Okay.
So I thought of St. John, how with Roses,
it became a hit after that.
And I'm not even gonna put the pressure on myself to be like, oh, I need to make an EDM remix and then like put a bunch of money behind it or anything. I think more so just as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, it seems like it would go well if it had a up tempo like EDM sound to it as well, because it's kind of
I can see that
stuff. So I might do that. But the song I've been bumping a lot recently, I found through academics actually. It's called Attachments by Pressa. He's from Toronto, I want to say. And I think the beat's super fire. I actually had heard some of his music before, but...
Is it hip-hop or like R&B?
Hip-hop.
Okay.
Like auto-tuning hip-hop. And I don't know, I just really like the sound of it. It's hard-hitting, different. Academics reposting it enough got him to like 1 million plays on Spotify. So I would definitely check it out if you get a chance. Attachments by Pressa.
Nice. Yo, send me that. So, or add it to the playlist, and I'll add it to the Apple one. That's dope. Nice, man. So, any quick, you want to share any resolutions you're working on this year? Obviously, putting out music is one. So, what are a couple resolutions you're focusing on in 2021 so we can put some positive energy out there to the universe?
I mean, first and foremost, I think definitely want to get the subscriber count up.
Yes.
For this podcast. Just continue to grow that. I don't know if I necessarily like have milestones in mind. We're almost at 100, but it'd be dope if we could get that up to like 500, 1,000 this year somehow.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously releasing more music, so I'll just make up a number now. At least 10 songs by the end of the year.
That's dope. Which should be like, almost like feasible. A song a month. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then just finding a new job that I love. I'm interviewing right now. Have some cool leads, so we'll see what happens. For those who don't know, I'm moving to San Francisco in 3 months. So that's gonna be an exciting change. So just want to get acclimated to that and kind of build my new life, quote unquote, there. Even though I'm gonna be stuck in the apartment probably because of this lockdown shit.
Till next year.
Yeah, nice. Trying to stay positive and stay productive and not focus on all the bullshit we had to deal with last year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and obviously we'll travel, we'll go places that let us in. It's fine. You'll be good. All right, those are some good ones to focus on for sure. For me, yeah, obviously podcast popping. I want to get this shit to like 100 subs or like, gee, fuck it, bro. Even like 1,000, bro. Like, why not, man? Like, set the number out there and we get to like 500. Like, that's still a fucking phenomenal goal for two dudes who just came up with this high off their minds at Coachella. What else? Oh, dude, I'm learning Italian. So
nice.
End of summer, be fucking fluent with that shit and just be
How
out
are you doing
there. Duolingo.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah. So far so good. I'm not. So my biggest fuck up back in the day when I was learning French, when I fucked up with French, was that I would translate to Spanish and then to English and then try to understand it. So like now I'm just like taking the word for what it is. So that's been working thus far. So that's good. So learn Italian. So we're out at like Amalfi Coast. I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh, you're a local. I'm like, nah, bro. So podcast, learn Italian, and then Joe, just fucking embrace life fully, bro. So like, enjoy it. Us obviously being healthy, us the ones we love being healthy, listeners being healthy. And then I feel like once we have that and a good mindset, bro, there's really nothing we can't fucking do. So job, house, investment opportunities. I mean, I want to buy some property this year. That's on my goals list. So, but yeah, dude. So just the podcast, Italian, and us being healthy to see the other aspirations we have, come to fruition.
Dope. Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yes, sir. So, wrap it up, and then tell the people one more time where they can find us.
Yes, sir. And just real quick, shout out to my lovely girlfriend and her sister for making these sweaters in memory of my brother.
So
Rayso. I know, I wasn't expecting it. She kept telling me she had a Christmas gift, and but it wasn't going to get here for like a couple weeks, and I was like, what the fuck could it be? But it came out super dope. So it has his name and birthday on the front.
His tag on the back, right?
Yeah, his tag on the back.
Tag came out fire, bro.
Appreciate it. And I'll post a picture here. It's gonna be hard to fucking turn around and everything, but they came out fire. So obviously told my mom, and I think when we eventually have the memorial, we're gonna order more and have enough for everyone who wants. So that'll be dope. But yeah, it's super comfortable, very quality, and just a nice way to remember him. And I've had people even like randomly tell me like, oh shit, I seen his tags in LA and stuff. Some of them are still up, so I'm sure a lot of them are.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, because
so
I feel like with COVID, no one's like out there like, you know, removing tags.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's like the bottom of the priority list.
Yeah, right. It's like, let's not die. And then
Yeah. But yeah.
She hit me up and sent me like the demo or whatever, like the before they actually printed it, and I was like, yeah, that shit is the one. So yeah,
nice. Appreciate the positive feedback.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, man. So where do people find us?
Yeah, find us at audio-theory.com. We're on all major platforms. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever suits your needs. And you can check us out every Wednesday. But we have a ton of episodes, so if you're new to the channel, just 56
other episodes, so 57 with this one. So you got plenty of fucking options.
Yeah, so enjoy yourself and stay entertained. Check in.
Yes, sir. Love you guys. Stay safe, my dude. Love you. We're back at it.
Nice.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.